So Chris is short for what?
Chris is short for Christoph Barocci. Well, actually.
Barocci.
Barocci.
I got it right.
Yeah, you did. Surprisingly. Like, you pronounce my name better than 99% of the people I meet.
I am. My family's all Italians.
Great.
My mother's side of the family, you know, Ernestine, Olga, Anna, Ida, Savino, you know, Sadotti.
Sadotti.
Now, they would start in English at dinner, and then they would bust into Italian and start yelling at each other. You know.
Cannot stay quiet. Cannot.
We used to sit down at 1 o'clock. They didn't get up from the dinner table till 7:30. We started with Amma Special, which was a soup, and then they brought the handmade ravioli, which they had me cranking, you know.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And then they bring out the
way.
roast, and they bring out this, and they bring out that. And the kids were like, haven't we done eating? And they were like, no, we haven't even started yet. And then one time my grandfather, Savino, he looks at me, he goes, you and your charged drinks. He was talking about a Coca-Cola. I said, and your wine's not charged? Oh, he didn't like that. So you want to play some guitar?
Oh, please.
All right, so
can we jam?
Yeah,
something?
it would be beautiful. So let me play some rhythm guitar, and you have some fun over the top.
Oh, thank you so much.
Look, you have a very good harmonic understanding. So when we were futzing around with this before the video started going, you were picking all the right notes.
Well, see. We'll see. I'll do my best. This would never stop.
Done,
this would
Chris.
never stop.
Nice, well done.
I was ready to keep on
played.
doing this forever with you.
Well, that was fun.
Thank you. That was awesome. Really, really nice, surprising chords, but somehow cohesive.
So let me tell you where that came from. We were at Crossroads in Texas, and John Mayer was on the stage, and he was doing clinics for Martin, and he was doing clinics for us, and he's talking about guitars, and more people came. It was packed.
Well,
and they weren't going to let him off the stage
Oh, yeah.
without playing.
oh yeah, of course.
And I looked at John, I said, I think I can get you through this. Do you trust me? And he goes, go for it. And he would listen to the chord, the C2 chord with a G bass, and he would hear it and playing C2, G bass, and then I put the G2 chord up, and then this and that and the other. And he was changing keys. He would listen to the chord, and then he would play, and listen to the chord play, which is exactly what you were doing. And it's on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube.
I will.
And,
I will look
and
it
it was the same thing, and I got him through it. They weren't going to let him off the stage playing. I was like, John, I think I can do this. Do you trust me? He goes, yeah, go. And I started to do that. And, he played spectacularly. And he chose different notes than you did, but it's the same idea. But what you chose is beautiful. Now you're a really good guitar player.
I wanted to reflect on the 40th anniversary show at the NAMM show.
Were you there?
In January, yes.
Close to 20 guitar players played, something like that?
Yeah.
And they didn't just came for the audience. They came to play for each other. They were laying it down.
It was one of the shows in my life that I've ever seen or experienced.
And what I wanted is I wanted the musicians to be happy with their amps. I wanted them to be happy with the sound check they had to go through the tunes. And I wanted them to be happy with their playing and their performances. And so I was looking after them that way. What I didn't know is that I was going to play. Somebody canceled the day before. And
that's okay.
David Hidalgo, the great guitar player from Los Lobos, got cross-booked. And I said, I'll take it. And they said, we're not going to have time for you. I said, I think we're going to run on time. They said, no, we're not going to run on time. I said, if we don't run on time, I'll let it go. And I went after that Jeff Beck tune.
Yeah.
And John Mayer's tech was Jeff Beck's tech at one point. And he goes, they're not really going to go after that, right?
It's risky.
And I said to the sound man, I said, if you get me through the first note, which is a cry note, it's... If you can get me through that note in the PA, you don't turn me up. I'm up, the echo's there, the reverb's there, and when I do it, it cries. I said, I think I can get through the rest of the tune. Now, I made 3 mistakes because it was haunting to play in front of 1,100 guitar players, which John Mayer talked about. He goes, I don't want to play in front of this many guitar players. But I got through it, and it was fun because, Jeff Beck needed to be honored at that concert. Yeah. I know he's not our endorser, but I met him on several occasions, and one time he was just as sweet as he could possibly be to me. What a guitar player.
I never met him, but that's exactly what I've heard from everyone, that
he knew who he was. Yeah. He knew his position in the industry. He knew exactly what the deal was, and he was laying it down. I think what happens, he gave and 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 he gave, and then he burned out. Yeah. I think he gave a lot to our industry.
Yes. Yeah.
So you were there, and I thought that John Mayer played great. I thought David Grissom played great. I thought Lettieri played great.
Mark Lettieri was the shocker for me. I saw him. We met. We made videos together, but I never experienced him with his band on a stage with great sound before, and that was. I couldn't breathe. I forgot to breathe throughout his show, and then John came on stage and played with Mark Lettieri and his band together. I'm like, this is the greatest day of my life. Thank you, Paul.
It was fun.
Check out those videos. Those are online. Those are on the Porry Smith YouTube channel, right?
The thing that happened was my phone rang as soon as it was over. And the front of house engineer, and it sounded wonderful in the room. He had done a great job. He goes, thank you for letting me be part of a historic event. And I didn't think of it that way until he called me. But he had the perspective. He was on the sliders out front. And I do remember that not Mark Lettieri, but John Mayer's assistant was out front. Jenna was out front. She goes, it sounds unbelievable. She was just astounded at how good it sounded. Yeah. Anyway, if you get a chance to watch it, I think it's worth a watch because it gives you an idea of all the tones that can come out of our guitars and the passion that these artists have for our instruments.
Absolutely, absolutely. The 40th anniversary guitars, you are holding the one I am personally most excited about. That is the SC56, right?
Yeah.
And those are the new pickups, which I never played until now. This was the first time I've heard these pickups, now that you played them. I really want to try them. So maybe at some point I can grab this other one, which is the same.
Switch guitars.
Or that.
Play now. Here.
Just a sec.
We'll do exactly this. I'll give you a chord. Play now.
Okay.
I mean, we're going to do it. Might as well do something. Look.
Okay, wow, that's a good neck.
You can deal with that. guitar sounds good in your hands. It sounds different than this. These are DMOs.
DMOs, right? Yeah.
But in a way,
This.
I'm not having to mix the pickups like I was doing on that guitar,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But that bass pickup for you sounded like something really beautiful and old.
Very articulate, but round.
We are hitting a stride that we haven't hit in a long time. And it's not that we were made bad guitars. People adore the instruments that they have. But we're getting really good feedback about these pickups and the TCIs and all that stuff. It's going very, very well. I'm listening to the tone coming out of my amp in that party. You about rip your head off.
Yeah.
It was on the edge of too bright, but it wasn't too bright.
You played your Paul's guitar, if I am
No, it was
not
a
mistaken.
Charcoal Phoenix that I
Charcoal
played.
Phoenix, but yeah.
And it's a Paul's guitar, but with a bunch of modifications.
Yeah,
And I plugged it in, and it just sounded like, I don't know what the right word, it was really beautifully aggressive without hurting.
Yeah.
What was your thought when you heard the sound coming out of the guitar?
Exactly, like very rich, full, punchy, but no
ice
PRC
pick.
frequencies.
They call that. I was just in England, and they called that ice pick. And I call it ice picky.
Yeah.
It's like somebody stuck an ice pick in you.
Yeah. What a nice picture.
Well, it hurts.
Yeah, for sure.
So I brought a 55 Strat to a real one to shoot out with some Silver Skies. Now, have you heard about this Rick Beato thing that we did? So I call Rick up. He's got, 5 million viewers or something, some subscriptions or something. I said, how about you find the best Strat ever made and we'll shoot it out with an SE? He goes, I'll do that.
Are you crazy, Paul?
Well, I'll do that. What he didn't know is we'd done it for years because we didn't release it until we'd done it. And so they couldn't find a really good Strat. He and Tim Pierce didn't have one that they thought was legendary. So I sent him a 63 and a 55, and then I borrowed a 62 from Dave Rogers in his museum, and somebody lent them another 62 made on the same day, basically, same date on the neck. And they shot them out in the video, and they picked the 63 as the one to shoot out against what we did. I brought the 55 there.
Ooh, okay.
I brought that to shoot out with a regular Silver Sky and a SE Silver Sky the way we did in the video. Would that be cool to do?
Okay. Oh, absolutely.
All right, good. So let me hand you this back. I found this guitar in Tucson, Arizona, and I thought it was one of the best Strats I'd ever played. If you look,
it's definitely the player's
the side
guitar.
dots are not in the middle. They didn't have a drill jig yet.
True. Those are offset.
They're really, that's the way it was. But this one's in the middle. All the other ones are not. But these are all in the middle, except this one's slightly this way. But, when you find a fake, and I found a fake one at one point, and I knew it was a fake because it was supposedly a 54, and all the side dots were they'd had a drill jig for, so I knew it wasn't a real one, right? You got to be careful about that stuff.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about this guitar, bass pickup, middle pickup. And what's not known about these guitars, even though it's the same pickup in each position, the treble pickup's unusably bright.
Yeah.
It's better on low strings. The middle pickup still has some of that quack.
Absolutely.
But the treble pickup is usable. Now, most of it's acoustic, not electric.
Yeah.
Let me show you. Now, I'm sure this mic that I have on will pick it up, but listen. Now, the action's pretty high on this guitar, so it's the guitar, right? But that has kind of a E up top. This is much more of an ah note.
Like an open A. Yeah.
So I'm listening for the vowel sound.
Yeah.
And the pickup is giving you the ping note. There's a ping note on every single note that I play. You hear the ping? It's the same ping. That's the pickup doing the ping note.
Yeah,
Because the guitar isn't really pinging.
Yeah.
So the pickup is incredibly important, like the internet says, but don't think that ah versus this E isn't important. It is very, very important.
Yeah.
So let's shoot this out with a regular Silver Sky. What's fascinating about these is this sounds in between these two.
Yeah.
It's got more bass than that one does, but ping note's almost exactly the same. Middle, treble. That's on the treble pickup. Very usable.
Quackiness, like a sweet.
Usually the treble pickup on these old Strats doesn't have a quack, not like this.
Yeah.
So to me, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
And for me, this kind of shootout's really, really important. Now, let's go back to the blue guitar. Now, what I'm going to do is show you that this bass pickup has a ping note in it. I know it's louder. I know it's got more body to it, but there's a ping to it. For me, the guitar has a vowel sound, and the pickup has an amount of bass and mid-range and a ping note to it. It literally is resonating in a note the way a Neve console does when you turn the inductor EQ.
So essentially this ping depends on this resonance frequency?
It has to do, yes, it has to do with what note it's resonating at.
Okay.
These pickups in the Silver Sky are around 9.5K. In the old Strats and the American Silver Sky, it's around 10.5K.
Wow.
And this thing's around 8K, 7K.
It's fairly high for a humbucker, isn't it?
Right, but by the time all this cable shows up, it moves the note down. And in this guitar, all this cable's going down here and going up here and going down, and it's moving the note down and down. The raw pickup without any cable on it is what I'm talking about. And so you have to start with the raw sound, and we all know that these cables change the tone of your guitar.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're plugged into a buffer.
So what is the main difference between the DMO, which you will see on the custom 24s, and the McCartys, which you will see on the SC50?
The treble pickup has 3 magnets in it, not 1. And it's tuned very, very similar to the TCI pickups.
Oh,
but
wow.
That's a different ping note than on the McCarty 3s, but
so interesting. The ping is lower,
but
the tone is more sort of focused and more compact.
That's correct. The ping's not as loud. Whereas on that 55 Strat, it's almost all ping note.
Yeah.
When I'm using the word ping because it's like turning the EQ on a Neve console up on some note with a narrow Q. That's basically how it is. And that's how we think of it, and that's how we measure it. And we have this machine at work that'll tell us exactly what the pickup's going to sound like before we ever plug it in. We're driving it in the air the same way the string is driving the pickup in the air. And I think that all this stuff's really important. I know these are my words, this ping note thing, but we know that you can buy 10 Strat pickups and they're all going to sound a little different. They resonate at a different note at a different volume, and it's important. And the magnets have a huge amount to do with it. The winding has a lot to do with it. The waxing, all that stuff has a big impact. And we did a really cool pickup trick in the SE Silver Sky so that everyone would have that extra bass note. I really liked what I showed you today. I thought it sounded good. And maybe I'm trying to get you to think about it differently, but what I want is all of Thoman's customers to think about it differently, and that we've done our homework, and you can rely when you get it out of the bag or you get it out of the case when it gets to your home, that it's going to sound like that. I did not pick those guitars special.
Yeah, no. I ordered them yesterday blindly. I knew which guitars we want to talk about. I ordered them from the warehouse and unboxed it literally an hour ago.
You expect it from a pedal that it'll sound the same as the other pedal, but you don't expect it in a guitar. And I've never said that, but it's true.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important. True, yeah. This is a nice guitar. I could play this guitar the rest of my life and have no problem. I like this guitar. This Mango thing is brand new for us and very cool. It's really curly. It sounds really good. It's got a nice ring note to it. In the guitar playing world, one of the things that I like to do is that if you're playing down low, well, chirp the note a little bit down low so you hear the note better. Without chirping it. With chirping. And where that comes from is the amps were too bassy and you wanted to get rid of some of the bass when you played down low. You wouldn't dare do it up top.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when by the time you're up top, you're... Would you be a cymbal? Which is cool, but it's better down low. And so I'm chirping it a little bit to get rid of the low note and get more of that fifth an octave up in the note, right?
The interesting part is my way of dealing with that is using my fingers, because whenever I use
exactly
my fingers,
what I'm doing. What do you mean?
Like not even the pick. Like I hide the pick and I start.
That's what Jeff Beck was doing.
Yeah, exactly. I have it from him unconsciously, but it's the same effect. Just making sure that there's that attack, that vowel somehow happening, and not too muddy, not too boomy. Yeah, those are little things. When you say like the US model, what is that you get from it?
You get the deep skill level that's in my building. We are teaching the Indonesian factory our skills constantly. I do not want to demean any guitar we make to make it in that price point. I want it to be unbelievable no matter what. Look, the whole deal with SEs was that it was the best guitar you could possibly buy for that money. And to me, same thing with this guitar. This could be something that a musician could use his whole life. You were having no trouble with this guitar when you were playing it. We shot these guitars out before this video with another company's guitars, and I'm not going to get into it, but it was way brighter. You will admit that. I want to leave that alone. But there's something about brightness that's not ice picky that is really important. Where's your accent from?
Oh gosh, I'm from Hungary, but the family is from Austria and Italy. I don't think, like back then, but my accent is probably from back when I used to live in New York. I learned.
I hear all kinds. You're
yeah,
like
but it's weird.
You've got a complicated accent.
Yeah, it's
not straight German, that's for sure.
No. I'm not German. That's
I got that
why.
part, but I mean, I can hear it. But to me,
I don't think I have the Queen's accent, but I used to live there for 1.5 years and went to school and everything when I was a kid, when I was 9.
Oh no, you don't sound posh.
No,
I'm sorry. Look, let me tell you why I bring it up.
New York.
Let me tell you why I bring it up. Guitars are that way. They have an accent. They have a sound. They have an area. I mean, if you listen to David Grissom play, he sounds like he's from Texas. If you listen to Eric Johnson play, I'm sorry, that sounds like it's from Texas to me. And there are areas that have sounds. English guitar players are these very well thought through, beautiful, written solo type parts.
Elegant players.
Whereas in America, we're a bunch of wild Mustangs. Give us a guitar, turn up the amp, and get out of the way, right? I mean, you know, and especially the slide players, except Derek Trucks. Derek Trucks plays so vocal. When the musicians in my band heard him play and they didn't know who he was, they were like, "That's vocal, Paul. Oh my God." He's really good musician.
Incredible.
You name Carlos Santana knows how to play to get people to sing melodies, go into the bathroom with a beer in their hand in the back of the stadium,
And
they're,
sing.
and they're
And
singing.
dance.
I was like, are you that good? And the answer was yes. He's not just a recording artist, he's a stadium musician, which is what Creed is. You know, that's that's Mark Tremonti's a stadium musician.
One of my favorite, all-time favorite rock players, Mark Tremonti.
Yeah, he's real, but he stands in front, puts his foot up on the monitor, projects this thing that's not just notes and not just music, but he's a very good songwriter.
Yeah,
It's also, he knows how to be a showman. He's really good at it. Anyway, that video of the 40th anniversary party will give you a really good idea what kind of tones are available from stock PRSs. David Grissom had a stock DGT in his hands.
Like a new stock?
It wasn't brand new, but it was, one of the, he's got a few of them, and he brought the one he was most comfortable with. But same thing with you, right? You bring the guitar you're most comfortable with.
Of course.
All right, so what else? You said you had a pile of questions, so let's get to them, because I think the shootout thing went really well.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I wanted to talk about this Rules of Tone series that you have on the channel. Again, make sure to check out the PRS YouTube channel. You'll find 5, 6 videos at this point. I think 5. Some might be coming up.
So what we did was I wrote this document a long time ago about how to, if you violate any of the rules, the magic of the guitar goes away. And the idea is don't violate the rules. To exaggerate it, I'm sorry, don't intentionally put dead strings on the guitar, because the low 3 strings won't have any high end. That would be a very poor, exaggerated version of the rules. But one of the rules would be if you make the neck this long with an ebony fingerboard and a balsa wood neck, it's not going to sound as good as if you have something that historic, like a 63 Strat or a 58 Les Paul, or the guitar you're holding, or the strength of that neck has a real impact on the sound of that guitar. Same thing with this one. So we brought all the people in that we've taught about each area, and they talked about what they'd learned from all this. So that was, each of the people in the video are the person in charge of that area.
That's how you divided it into sections, following the rules that
came from that person's area, whether it be pickups or neck making or whatever it was.
Finish. Crazy. The first thing that struck me was, even though it's such a logical thing, still it's not something a lot of people think about. The stability of the neck and the amount you need to put the rod under tension. Because if you barely have to, or not at all have to put the rod under tension, there's more sustain. There's more of the guitar still ringing. That was like, and your analogy with the bell.
Yeah.
That where you have a big church bell and you hit it, it sounds big. You tighten it, it will not sound free anymore.
If you drill a hole through it here and here, put a piece of all thread through it, and put a nut on each side and start to crank it down, you're going to stop it from vibrating.
Yeah. And there goes your tone, there goes your sustain, everything. That was one of the very striking moments. And the other one was where you guys picked up those planks of wood, unfinished, base coat, the normal amount of finish, then double, and then quadruple or something. And how you immediately, like how it hits you, the difference. And I'm like, oh
I think
God,
the base coat and one coat and 2 coats was okay.
Yeah,
after
totally.
that, it gets a little dicey.
Taste difference, but then it's just like.
It starts to,
Gosh.
So what I did was I went in the wood shop and I got 5 neck blanks, and I just cut them exactly the same size and make sure they all sounded the same. What's fascinating about it with nitro, after about 2 years, things had gotten to the point where you couldn't hear the difference between just wood and a normal amount of paint. And that I really liked. And what we're finding out is how thick the finish is and how long it's had a chance to dry has a real impact on it as well. But that was self-explanatory.
That was just such a highlight. I think it's in the finishing episode around 5 minutes. I think I try to remember the time.
You really studied this
No,
stuff.
I was so fascinated by that. Like, come on, this is like, you cannot not notice that.
I was trying to show my people that it does have an impact. The guitars are producing a vowel note, and they are having an impact on the sustain, and they're having an impact on the harmonic content. All that stuff's really important. And then the pickup is literally picking it up.
Why and how come you changed to nitro? A lot of guitar players are really excited about it, even though clearly not everyone wants nitro to weather check, but it's just the fact that it feels different and it has maybe some sentimental thing to it. But what made you say like, okay, let's do this,
Well, when we
swap.
started, Alembic was using something called trail chemical acrylic urethane. It was called Accutane. And if you find an old Alembic bass, it's weather checked badly.
Okay.
So this stuff wasn't just, I mean, this was basically plexiglass. Cyanoacrylate, which is a glue, you know, crazy glue, you know?
Yeah.
That's cyanide-kicked acrylic, cyanoacrylate. It's an acrylic,
Wow.
okay?
It's super...
And so acrylic urethane was an acrylic. And what happened was the cars started to put rubber bumpers on the cars. And when you hit the bumper, the paint had to bend in and bend out without cracking. So they made it tougher and more flexible, which affected the guitar industry. With all due respect, Leo Fender needed a new color. He went down to the GM dealership and got a new color.
Yeah.
So they were using car paints.
Yeah.
DuPont, Duco.
And they also mixed acrylic and nitro, right? Because some finishes were only available.
I don't know anything about that, but I do know that I started and then they started to change the paint. The paint takes way longer to dry. The acrylic urethane would take almost 10 years to get fully hard. And by the time it did, it felt much better. But nitro has a wonderful quality to it that's not so obvious. When you spray it on, it melts into the coat before, so it has less want to separate. And I really like it. It's industry standard for electric guitars, always has been for acoustic and electric guitars. I like the stuff. All those SEs you're selling has a combination of acrylic urethanes on it, but it's really hard. It's crystalline, actually. Yeah. It'll shatter if you hit it.
Wow. Okay.
So that, to me, that's more of it than the material. I want this nitro to be razor close to cracking, but not cracking. Turns out, Gibson in the old days, they would ship the guitars in the winter to the southern route so they never got cold. And if it made it to the dealership not cracked, it was the dealer's problem. I bought
different times, I guess.
I bought a 1958 Les Paul that was not weather checked. And I thought it was a fake. I said, this is an original. And Harvey says, no, this is original. I sent it to a dealer in the winter in a flight case. And when I got there and opened it up, it was all weather checked. And I was like, I looked at it and went, oh no, oh, okay. And I started laughing. And I realized the guitar had been in Tucson, Arizona, so I had never seen a cold day. Since 1958, it had never seen a cold day, and the thing shattered. I was like, okay, well, whatever, finally.
At least it's not fake.
But, but this stuff gets really, really hard without cracking. If you work really hard, you might get it to weather check a little bit. But
leave it outside with minus temperatures and stuff.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah,
but it doesn't really matter. But it's musical instrument finish. It's working great for us, and I think your customers have really, taken it on.
A great response for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's not sticky, which is something that you sometimes have with glossy finishes. Not
Do you
at all
know what
sticky.
they do to stop nitro from cracking?
From cracking?
They put clear, non-drying oil in it. The same thing they put in the clear caulk that goes around your tub. And you know how it never gets hard? It's got clear, non-drying oil in it. A polypropylene bottle, that's a squeeze bottle, it's full of oil.
Oh, crazy.
It's plastique. It's not, plastique means malleable. That's what it means.
Okay.
Like, that's why they call it plastic surgeon. They're not using any plastic when they're doing surgery on you. So,
well, hopefully.
Okay, well.
Who knows?
No, it's literally from malleable, right? And to me, how much of that non-drying oil you put in the paint, you don't want to load it up. It's like going to the bar and the drink's just too sweet.
Yeah.
The right amount of sweetness in a Scotch is probably the best analogy.
Perfect analogy.
The best analogy for how much non-drying oil. It's called plasticizer.
Yeah. I think, you know what I want to do? I want to jam out.
Nice ear, well done. I just stole the thrill. It's gone. Sorry. So everybody, thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks,
done.
everyone. See you down there in the comments.
Well done.
Thank you so much, Paul.